games left before the All-Star break. The Blue Jays would love to get on a hot streak and go over 500 before they take that mid-season break. Twins are in town for the second game of this three-game series. They won the opener 7-6 last night. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. And, Pat, tonight we have an interesting season debut. Mark Zepzinsky, who pitched in 11 games last year for the Blue Jays, makes his 2010 debut here tonight for Cito Gaston.
Really made an impression on Cito Gaston in his 11 starts last year. He had a losing record, but his earned run average was very good. Started the year off, did not have his feel for his curveball or his changeup, but then really found it in the month of June, and he has taken off. I think the key for Mark Zepzinsky is he needs to pitch off of his fastball. When he does that, I think all his secondary pitches, he's got an excellent curveball and a very good changeup, they become that much more effective.
Zepzinsky won his last three starts in AAA at Las Vegas, and he's really coming up here with a hot hand. And he's also got the advantage of facing the Minnesota Twins for the first time. He didn't face them last year when he made those 11 starts here for the Blue Jays. Anytime you face the Minnesota Twins, you've got to look at the meat of that order. They are really tough, and Zepzinsky, being left-handed, should pitch aggressively to the Twins tonight.
He's got a very funky delivery, and it's very hard to pick up his breaking ball. He's got a good sinking fastball. And when you talk about the Minnesota Twins, you talk about two guys.
Well, Joe Mauer in the third spot, Justin Morneau in the cleanup spot. Last night, the Blue Jays held them to 2 for 8. But unfortunately, both of those hits were home runs. These guys are really tough to get through.
Yeah, they certainly are. And the Blue Jays keep running into these dynamic duos. We saw Pujols and Holiday of the Cardinals, Teixeira and A-Rod of the Yankees. But these two, Mauer and Morneau, rank right up there with everybody in baseball. They both went deep in last night's game, the 16th time in their careers that they have hit home runs in the same game for Minnesota. The Twins' record in those 16 games, 13-3.
Yeah, they're pretty productive, and not only do they have power, but they have the ability to drive in tough runs, and Morneau has just a great swing, and we have seen him do this time and time again here at the Rogers Center. He loves hitting in this ballpark. The Blue Jays hit 3 home runs themselves in last night's game. They have 123 on the season. They have continued to impress with their power. And for more on the Blue Jay bats, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, this team compares favorably with the 2000 team that had 4 players hit 20 or more home runs before the All-Star break. That was a major league record. The Toronto Blue Jays now sit in second spot in franchise history, 4 home runs hit before the break. Still 5 games remaining, but not likely to reach that number. Earlier, the Blue Jays had a 5-game drought, the longest of the season without hitting a home run. They won just 1 of those games. But since Saturday in New York, things have really turned around. The home run, a big part of the offense once again.
And again last night, the Blue Jays came through with 3 home runs. Lyle Overbay went to left, his 9th of the season off Carl Pomano. Dwayne Wise going back-to-back in games. He's hit 2 now, and Edwin Encarnacion capped off a 3-hit night with his 10th home run of the season. The Blue Jays lead the majors in long ball. There's some threatening weather in the area, so we will start this game with the roof closed. Game 2 of a 3-game set. The Minnesota Twins won last night. They scored a single run in the 8th inning to take the game 7-6. Ron Gardenhire, the skipper of the Twins, has set his lineup, and he's exchanged lineup cards with Cito Gaston. And let's take a look at the Twins lineup. Denard Span, top of the order. Former Blue Jay Orlando Hudson. Joe Mauer, the All-Star, career hitter at Rogers Center, .385. He's hit 4 doubles and 7 home runs, and he had a home run in last night's game. And the thing about Joe Mauer is you can look at that .302 average and say, what's wrong with Joe Mauer? He's a career .320 hitter. Just off a little bit of a bad start this year. He's hit just 4 home runs this season. But don't worry, Joe Mauer will be among the leaders in batting average at the end of the season.
You're absolutely right. All 4 of those home runs away from target field also for Joe Mauer. He will be matched up against Mark Zepzinsky, making his season debut. Zepzinsky is just 24 years old. He was a 5th-round draft pick by the Blue Jays back in 2007. He was a candidate to make the team out of spring training before breaking the middle finger on his throwing hand right at the end of spring training. There are his numbers this season with Las Vegas. His last 3 very good. 3-0 with a .241 earned run average. His last 3 starts in AAA. The scouting report on Zepzinsky. Good movement on his fastball. We'll watch that tonight because I think that's important. He needs to pitch off of that fastball. He's got that curve when it counts. He can use it as a strikeout pitch, throw it when he is behind in the count. Very important. And the changeup is back for him. He was telling me in New York that he didn't have that feel for that changeup because of that broken finger that he sustained right at the end of spring training. It's back. It's feeling good. His numbers are proving it out.
Yeah, he made his last start of the spring against the New York Yankees, and Ramiro Pena hit a little comeback and right to the mound. He swiped at it with his bare hand and hit the end of his middle finger and broke the tip off, so it took him a while to come back. Good to see him here, and I'm sure Cito Gaston's anxious to watch Mark Zepzinsky attack the Twins here tonight. His first career start against Minnesota. Denard Span, the center fielder, will start things off. He had that pivotal RBI in the 8th inning. He drove in 2 last night. He was 1 for 4, but the base hit to center field drove home Delman Young, the decisive run of the game. Nothing like a first pitch strike to start the game. Span has really become an impact leadoff hitter. 93 hits in the season so far. Breaking ball slapped to third, backhanded by Encarnacion, and Span is retired. Good play to start the game.
Yeah, that was a pretty little play right there by Encarnacion to the Blue Jays. The rest of the defense that will join him in the field behind Mark Zepzinsky tonight. Vernon Wells back in the lineup in center field, takes over for a red-hot Dwayne Wise. What a couple of games he had. John McDonald will get the start at second base. No Aaron Hill tonight. John Buck, Zepzinsky, the battery here, and Vernon Wells pinch hit in last night's game. Gold Glover back out there in center field, and what a job Dwayne Wise did while he was out.
Well, that's what you want from your extra guys, to make a contribution, and he certainly did with the glove and with the bat, but it's good to see Vernon back in center. Orlando Hudson takes the first pitch off the plate outside. Hudson 0 for 4 in last night's game. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Ground ball up the middle. Gonzalez can't hang on to it. Alex Gonzalez got a glove on it, was going to spin around and try to make a throw on Hudson, but couldn't come up with it.
There's an
infield hit.
There was a play like that in last night's ball game. Late in the game where he went to his left a long way, came up with it. It was going to be close at first base. Even if he does come up with it, he knocks it down, and it'll go as an infield single for Orlando Hudson.
Gonzalez made a similar play last night against Michael Kadire to throw out the Twins' third baseman. You always expect him to come up with those plays. So Hudson's at first hit of the ball game, and Joe Mauer, the catcher, will bat. How much do you expect the Twins to really take a patient approach against Zepzinsky?
Well, they're a patient team anyway. They've got a high on-base percentage. They have the 3rd most walks in the American League. And I totally expect them, at least the first time through, Buck, that they will take a look at Zepzinsky and see how that ball comes out of his hand.
see if they can track it just a little bit more.
Outside, 1-1. Anytime you have some veteran hitters, and they are veteran hitters even though they're young, they've been around for a while, they're going to look at a new pitcher and try to get an idea. See what he's featuring on a given night, try to figure out his movement and velocity. Good breaking ball. Zepzinsky hit a ball and 2 strikes.
Joe Mauer does not have a lot of power like he did last year. 28 home runs for Mauer. I asked some of the Minnesota people, why the power is down, and they said, in new target field, left center or right center is Death Valley. And that's where a lot of his power is. Those balls have just been dying at home for Joe Mauer.
Yeah, it'll take him a while to get used to hitting there, but Mauer to me is the type of guy that can change his stroke to fit the ballpark. And if he needs to pull the ball to hit a few more home runs, he's capable of doing that. Might suffer with the batting average a little bit, but what the heck, he's already won 3 batting titles.
Yeah, and he talked early in his career that he'd rather win batting titles than home run titles.
Joe Mauer is just one of 10 major leaguers to have 3 or more batting titles. He won back-to-back titles, first time in the American League since Nomar Garcia Parra went back-to-back in '99 and 2000 for the Boston Red Sox. Orlando Hudson infield single. He's at first. 1 out here in the first. High slider. Full count.
Another thing that you want to do when you've never faced a pitcher is get a one-way lead when you get out there. You threw the first runner on base. Get out there as far as you can to make him throw over to first base, and everybody else on the team can take a look at that move and maybe read something into it. Hudson has been breaking back to first base, asking Zepzinsky to throw over there.
Full count. 1 out. Hudson, late break, strikeout. Hudson's hung up between first and second. Gonzalez hits Hudson in a rundown. Now Overbay, little toss to McDonald. Hudson's tagged out. A strike him out, throw him out. Orlando Hudson got caught halfway in no man's land. Mauer strikes out for just the 27th time, and Zepzinsky has a good first inning. Orlando Hudson with the late break, anticipating Mauer making contact. Mauer strikes out. Hudson gets in a rundown. We see every night. Lends the DH again tonight. John Buck behind the plate has moved up into 6th spot in the order, and John Buck over his last 20 games has really been swinging the bat well. .313 average. He's got a double and 4 home runs, and we have the pleasure of seeing the two American League catchers here for the All-Star game, John Buck and Joe Mauer. Fred Lewis takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Kevin Slowey. Lewis, a couple of hits and a couple of strikeouts in last night's game. Pops this one up to left field. Delman Young going back, and that ball hangs up short of the warning track. 1 out.
Ball really carried the left field. Kevin Slowey beat the Blue Jays 8-3 the last time he pitched here at Rogers Center. That was back on May the 17th. 8-5 with a .457 earned run average. That was his first career win versus Toronto in 5 tries. Last time out, 6 innings versus Detroit. Picked up his 8th win of the season against the Tigers the last time he was on the mound.
Alex Gonzalez takes the first pitch breaking ball for his strike. Gonzalez moved into the 2 spot in the order tonight. Dwayne Wise was there last night, but with Wells back in the cleanup spot, everybody moves up a notch. Little cutter off the plate, a ball and a strike. Some of these young Twins pitchers aren't really comfortable pitching away from their new ballpark this year. Target Field has become a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. There's a drive to left field. Delman Young back at the wall. Down! Home run, Alex Gonzalez. Number 16 for Gonzalez, and the Blue Jays jump out on top.
You want to see a way to hit an off-speed pitch, watch the replay of Alex Gonzalez. It's a breaking ball from Slowey. He keeps his weight back, and then that pitch, even if it's down and away, get the barrel of the bat out in front, and good things are going to happen. Knocks it into the bullpen for the home run.
124 for the Blue Jays. 3 in last night's game and 1 already tonight. Jose Bautista takes the first pitch strike from Slowey. And talk about Slowey. He is 5-3 with a 3.54 ERA at home, but a 6.11 ERA on the road.
That's a lot of like their young pitchers. Nick Blackburn, Scott Baker. Throw Slowey into the mix that they have struggled away from target field.
How can that affect a pitcher? You get to a big ballpark, throw some pitches, and you see them caught in the outfield. I guess you get a little relaxed when you go on the road.
Well, you look at their numbers, and Slowey's always been more of a fly ball type of pitcher. In fact, the whole Minnesota staff has been a fly ball pitching staff. You can do that in a big ballpark like that because they'll die on the warning track. But in the ballpark like this, at Rogers Center, the ball is just carrying, especially the left field.
Bautista, 3-1 pitch. Popped it up, had a good cut, late on a fastball. Bob Pavano last night was the starting pitcher. He had a great run going. He went 6 1/3, was touched up for 8 hits, but Pavano has been their most consistent starter this year. He is 9-6 for the season, leads their team in wins. Another full count pitch. He walked him. 51st walk of the season for Jose Bautista.
Like a lot of these Minnesota Twins pitchers, 3 above average pitches. He'll sink his fastball. He's got a slurvy curveball and a decent changeup, but it's the pinpoint control that the Minnesota Twins, a lot of the pitchers have. 18 walks on the season, just 7 on the road all season long, and Slowey is a Brad Radke clone. Remember Brad Radke? Work quickly, throw strikes, keep the ball in play.
And Radke had a terrific changeup and certainly benefited from a very consistent infield defense. Vernon Wells back starting, hits the first pitch to third base. Valencia to Hudson in time to get Vernon Wells. A terrific 5-4-3 double play ends the inning. But Alex Gonzalez gets the breaking ball and hammers it over the wall in left. home run hitters, and Larry Walker's top of the list, 383. Matt Steers, Jeff Heath, Jason Bay, and Justin Morneau hit his 181st home run here last night.
And he is in one of those home run grooves. Morneau, his last 16 games, he has 5 home runs, hitting just about everything.
He's got such great plate coverage. You can really extend out over that plate. And if I had to come up with a game plan to pitch him, I think I'd try to pound him hard.
I think that's a good start.
Right there.
Pound him in. Above the hands or below?
Watch the extension.
That is an outside high pitch. Bruce Walton was telling me today that was by design to try and keep the ball away from him and up. That the spray charts show that he just hits fly balls to left field. Now, if you get it down, he can drive the ball out of the ballpark. He pulled that ball somehow.
He pulled it very hard. A ball and 2 strikes to Morneau. Zepzinsky misses with the fastball away. Here's another great example, Pat. You talk about it all the time, and you see his numbers over the last 16 games, but Morneau, too, is a very quiet hitter.
Doesn't have a whole lot of movement in the lower half. Not a lot of moving parts in his swing. He's very still, very strong from his elbows down to forearms and wrists and hands. Very strong. That helps him to elevate the ball.
And we talked about the improvement of Lyle Overbay since he's quieted his approach at the plate. 2-2 pitch, another foul off. Hit the breaking ball right into the dirt. But when you quiet your approach down, keeps your head still, and automatically your eyes stay focused, and that ball's not jumping around as much. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Crowding with the fastball. Came inside, gets the strikeout. Second strikeout for Zepzinsky.
Piped in down into the clubhouse. Throw that fastball over the hands. Tough to catch up with that ball. If you miss, you've got to miss in. Zepzinsky now has 2 straight strikeouts.
Bauer and Morneau. 1 out now for Michael Kadire, who's in right field tonight. Kadire played third base in last night's game. Popped out of play, 1-1.
That is really hard on players to go back and forth. We've seen Bautista do it, play right field a few games, then over to third base. And Kadire has handled it because he came up as an infielder, can play all the different positions.
Well, I think that's one thing that the Twins organization just demands. Just do whatever we need you to do. And Kadire has been great. Ron Gardenhire continuing that philosophy established by Tom Kelly, manager before Gardenhire. Gardenhire was a coach under Kelly and just continues that legacy. There's a Twins way to do things.
And the first thing you have to do is you have to play defense. Throw strikes and play defense. That has been their mantra for years and years.
A little tapper up the third baseline, just bounces foul. Well, the Twins have a routine they go through every single day in spring training. They call it Good Morning America. And the entire team comes out and they work on defense. Before they do anything else, there's no hitting, there's no bunting practice. They loosen up, they stretch, they throw, and then they work on defense.
Situations, bunt defense, cutoffs and relays.
Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Kadire looked at that breaking ball. Fox to Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire. He thought it was outside. 3 straight strikeouts for Zepzinsky.
Can't give up on that breaking ball if you're a right-handed hitter. Zepzinsky will bring it around the back door and paint it on that outside corner. That is a good, hard, snapping breaking ball. He'll also throw a little bit of a slider, and you can tell the difference between that curveball and the slider.
Jason Kubel. Tonight, the DH takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. Kubel and Morneau went back-to-back in last night's game. Morneau had the home run, and right behind him, Jason Kubel went deep, his 11th of the season. Good breaking ball. Started it right at Kubal's hip, and it broke over the inside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. Missed with the fastball, 2-2.
I love how Zepzinsky really mixes things up. We call it pitching backwards. Fastball counts, he'll throw off-speed pitches and vice versa. Really gets into the heads of the hitters.
Breaking ball fought off up the third baseline. Well, what's a fastball count?
2-0-3-1.
And he has the ability to throw breaking balls and changeups in those counts.
1-2, he'll slip a fastball by you when you're looking for an off-speed pitch. And I noticed that the first time he took the mound last year, how mature he was in his pitch selection.
2-2 to Kubel. Strike 3 called. Another good breaking ball. Mark Zepzinsky strikes out the side in the second. He has struck out 4 in a row. The feet of the order.
With tonight, Delman Young, Bernard Spad, and Michael Kadire in the outfield. In the middle, they are very good, very talented. They can handle everything. Joe Mauer behind the plate tonight. He'll be teamed up with Kevin Slowey. J.J. Hardy, you noticed him at shortstop, just back off the disabled list. This will be his 3rd start at shortstop for Minnesota since coming back from the DL with a wrist problem.
Adam Lynn took a first pitch fastball for a strike. Now Slowey jumps out in front 0-2. Glenn 1 for 4 in last night's game. Base hit left field. Went with the pitch and drives it into the left. An 0-2 base hit.
Was out here early, Adam Lynn, today working with Dwayne Murphy, staying on the baseball. It looks like the Twins have made a concerted effort to keep the ball away from Lynn, and he crosses him up with that base hit to left field.
Now John Buck will bat now. We mentioned his hot streak, 313 over his last 20 games. Buck batting, Mauer catching. The American League All-Star catchers. Popped up. Right field, Kadire now drifting back. Lind is halfway, and he'll go back to first as Buck's retired. Got under it a bit and flies out to right.
Just got beat a little bit. Just got it off the end of the bat to right field.
Another point you made about Slowey, another fly ball just missed by John Buck.
He has given up now 14 home runs this year. 12 of them solo home runs. So if nobody on, he's going to come after you.
Lyle Overbay, good night last night again, 2 for 4 with his 9th home run of the season. Good fastball on the inside corner. Overbay has 9 home runs. The Blue Jays have 7 hitters with 10 or more home runs. The Red Sox have 5. The Yankees have 4. Only other team in the American League with 5 in double-digit home runs, the Angels.
That's an incredible stat when you talk about power up and down the lineup. They knew they were going to have at least 6, they thought, to hit 20. And that's some oppo power right there. He stays behind that ball and he drives it to left field. Dwayne Murphy was telling me today that he feels like he has been a little bit more aggressive early in the count. His last 11 games, some good production, .359 batting average.
Well, Dwayne Murphy, I don't think anybody is working as hard as Dwayne Murphy trying to get these batting averages up a bit. 0-2 to Overbay. Inside. Different approach than he had to Adam Lynn. Lynn stroked that 0-2 fastball away into left field. One out here in the second. Blue Jays on top. Alex Gonzalez with the solo home run in the first. His 16th of the season. Off the plate outside.
Well, the production, you have to have it from a first baseman, and we're starting to see that from Lyle Overbay. A good average. He's always been a very good average hitter, but the production, we're seeing the double, 7, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs since that streak started back in the middle of May.
Very respectable numbers. Average sits at 244. Off speed pitch, missed down. Full count. Overbay checking with Brian Butterfield down at third to see whether or not Lynn will move on to pitch. I would expect him to take off, given the way Overbay's been making contact and driving the ball all over the ballpark.
Give him a little bit of a head start over there. Slow, he doesn't walk a lot of people. He's around the plate.
Not going, and Overbay fisted it out of play.
He was guessing with him. He was guessing that that ball was going to be away. As you take a look at Brian Butterfield go through the signs once more. Slowly tried to slide that fastball inside, and Lyle fouls it off, fights it off to stay alive.
Another full count pitch. Then not going. Driven to left field. Span got a late break. This ball is going to be caught by Delman Young. He dropped it. Here comes Lind around third. He's going to stop. Delman Young got over to it, got his glove on it, and then it just popped out of his glove.
That ball was slicing back toward Young. No chance for Bernard Span, the center fielder, to run that one down. The ball was hit too hard, but it was slicing away from Span and right to Delman Young. Watch him come over, and he reaches out, and he's got plenty of time, plenty of room. It goes in the glove and right off the glove. Now, Adam Lynn goes out there. You've got to get around second base when the ball's hit into the gap. So he's out there. He sees that he's going to catch it. No, wait a minute. It just registers that the ball's on the ground, so he can only make it to third base.
Yeah, you see the ball hit the glove, and you anticipate Young was going to catch it. So it's second and third now with just one out for Edwin Encarnacion. It's an error on the left fielder, Young. Encarnacion with a big night last night. 3 hits and a solo home run. He was 3 for 4 and scored a couple. Good fastball, evens the count at a ball on the strike. The Twins have always been known for their defense. We've talked about that already tonight, but over the last couple of weeks, they've committed some errors. They've kicked it around a bit.
Very uncharacteristic of a Minnesota Twins team. They usually throw to the right base, make all the right calls out there. Very athletic outfield.
Slider missed away. 2 balls and a strike. Encarnacion has a great opportunity for an RBI. You can see since he's come back from AAA, done a decent job. 4 for 12 with a home run in 3 games.
Wait for him to bring the ball over the plate. They are going to try and stay away from him as much as possible. They know that his power is down and in. We saw it in last night's game when Pavano tried to go there.
And they have a base open. And Slowey doesn't have to give in to Encarnacion with the number 9 batter, John McDonald, on deck. 2 balls and a strike. Chased one up and away. Twins infield is back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Encarnacion. Just 1 out. Chased another pitch out of the zone. Went upstairs and Encarnacion strikes out.
First strikeout of the night for Kevin Slowey. You're right, up and in, and you try and get him to chase that ball. Tough to do anything with that one. Big strikeout now. 2 down, 2 on for John McDonald.
Danny Valencia, the third baseman, is come even with the bag. Just to cut down the possibility of a bunt here. McDonald takes a strike.
We've seen Johnny Mac do this with 2 outs, drop a bunt down. So they've got the scouting reports, do the Minnesota Twins. But when you are batting down there and you've got a couple of guys in scoring position, you're thinking about base hit and 2 RBIs.
Got a battle here in this situation with 2 outs, little base hit. We'll get you 2 ribbies and put the Jays up by 3. They'd come back fastball, catches the outside corner. Slowey's out in front 0-2. Well, you mentioned the fact that Slowey's a strike thrower, and we've seen that already here tonight.
And the Jays don't waste any time, do they? They go up there, and the first strike they see, they're going to let it go.
Again, they elevated that fastball, and McDonald gets a piece of it. There was no doubt about where Joe Mauer wanted that last fastball. He accentuated that high target.
You know, as a hitter, if you see that ball up there, you know that Slowey's got enough command that if that ball is up there, it's going to be a ball. There's a reason for it. So I think what you need to do is really set your sights down low. Think about the ball being down in the lower half of the strike zone, and anything above your sight lines, just let it go.
No balls and 2 strikes. Pushed him back with a fastball. Exactly what you were talking about. That ball that's up, not designed to be a strike.
No, it's not. And he knows it, I think, because he doesn't really have the ability to throw the ball by you. So if he's throwing it up there, he's only throwing it up there for a reason, for a purpose, for you to swing at it and pop it up or swing through it.
Breaking ball popped up. Foul territory. Valencia into foul ground and makes the catch. Kevin Slowey gives up a hit, an error behind him, but he strands 2.
game. And then on the back of the shirt, with all the coaches and players wearing it, vote Delman Young. You can go to twinsbaseball.com if Delman Young is someone you're interested in. A little more on the final man vote later in the game.
Yeah, quite a campaign all around baseball for those 10 players that are part of the final man vote. 5 in the National League and 5 in the American League. And Delman Young certainly deserving of that opportunity. Big numbers for Young. 9 home runs, 56 RBIs, and that 300 average.
I'll vote for him and Joey Votto.
Joey Votto. What numbers he's put up. Joey Votto of the Reds, certainly a lot of Canadians in favor of Joey Votto going. He's from Toronto. We'd love to see him go to the All-Star game. And you can vote. Sam mentioned how you can vote for Joey Votto or Delman Young, whoever you feel is deserving. There's a foul ball outside of third. National League list, it's also interesting. How about the Padres leading the National League in pitching? They don't have a pitcher on the All-Star team.
They were leading in earned run average for the longest time.
Yeah, and they don't have a pitcher on the All-Star team. Heath Bell, their closer, is part of the 5-man vote. Carlos Gonzalez of the Rockies, Joey Votto, Billy Wagner of the Braves, and Ryan Zimmerman.
You can make an argument for all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Zimmerman went deep twice last night to champion his cause. Full count to Delman Young. Oh, man. We used to make light of these things, and then you see what happens to Dustin Pedroia, and he fouls the ball off his foot and breaks a bone in his foot. It happened to Jermaine Dye a few years ago when he was with Oakland. It happened to a lot of guys. They foul that ball right down into your leg or into your foot. And
even if you're a catcher, Victor Martinez got a foul ball off of his foot and is on the disabled list. Yeah, you used to sit on the bench and make fun of those guys, make noises at them and laugh at them, but
barking dogs out of the other end.
Get them out of the way, man.
Get the dogs out of the way. Another full count pitch to Young. Breaking ball, breaks his bat. Zepzinsky just dives out of the way of that broken bat. Wow, that was as close as I've seen. Thank goodness Zepzinsky saw that barrel and that pointed into that bat.
And we have talked about that for the last couple of years, that something like this is going to happen at some point. Breaking ball, and here comes the barrel right at your head. He almost walked right into it. The sharp end, watch this close-up as Zepzinsky, his momentum takes him over there and just picks up the bat right at the last second.
He didn't duck out of the way. That bat just missed him. And he didn't react till that bat was past him. Delman Young is retired. 1 out here in the third. Danny Valencia, the third baseman tonight. Zepzinsky throwing that changeup down and away. Valencia in his 5th year with the Twins, signed out of the University of Miami. Zepzinsky kicks it into left field. Valencia has a base hit. Fred Lewis gets it back in. How about that in back-to-back at-bats? A barrel of a bat flies past his head. He can only laugh about it. Bats and balls coming my way.
Yeah. Hopefully this one hit him on the back or on the bottom. It doesn't look like it hurt him, but line drive right off the foot and into left field.
Looked like it hit him in the heel of his shoe. And Mike Frostad, the assistant trainer, is out to check on the left-hander. Jim Wolf, Cito Gaston, everybody concerned about his health. He doesn't appear to be favoring anything. Kind of an interesting inning, huh?
Yeah, you usually see this ball go down or ricochet to an infielder. Very rarely do you see it go off your shoe on a line drive. He keeps it out there to try and knock it down, and it goes all the way out to left field. So he'll get a couple of extra tosses to make sure that everything is okay. No.
Pitchers deserve a lot of credit. 60 feet, 6 inches away, and these big guys are hitting, and line drives flying by your head. Broken bats whizzing by your ear.
Hey, I remember throwing BP to my 13 and 14-year-old kids, and I needed a screen. I was scared to death. One of those things were going to come right at my chops.
Good fastball. J.J. Hardy takes the first pitch strike. Did not play in last night's game. Did not start. Came on defensively late in the game. Breaking ball smothered by John Buck. One out here in the third. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Mark Zepzinsky making his first start of the season. Hardy grounds it to short. Should be 2. Gonzalez to McDonald for 1. Back to first. Double play. Just like that, a very interesting inning for Zepzinsky, but he gets out of it. Johnny McDonald with the good turn at second. As he replaces Giovanni Gallardo on the National League roster. Gallardo had an injury, so Heath is no longer anticipating the vote. He's packing his bags, getting ready to go to Anaheim to spend the break with the National League All-Stars. So now Joey Votto's percentages increased.
I was just thinking the same thing. His percentages, his odds go up. So now you have a 1-in-4 chance.
Brad Lewis fouls it out of play. So get out there, get online, vote for Joey Votto, send him to the All-Star game, and get another Canadian into that All-Star game. Joey Votto certainly well deserving of being named to that All-Star team. Cincinnati enjoying a very good first half. Dusty Baker's ball club doing a great job.
First place.
Holding off the Cardinals.
Yeah, first place, and he's their best hitter. Makes sense to me.
All-Star game. Come on, Joey Votto. No balls and a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. Cincinnati 2 games ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Central. Changeup missed away. 2 balls and a strike. How about the Colorado Rockies spoiling the Cardinals' night last night?
9 runs in the 9th inning to take it from St. Louis.
And Ryan Franklin coughed it up. 2 balls and a strike. Just catches the outside corner. Todd Helton went on the disabled list today for the Colorado Rockies. Brad Eldred gets called up from Colorado Springs. 22 home runs, 64 RBIs for Colorado Springs. So he has been called upon to replace Todd Helton.
Wouldn't you like to go back and hit in the PCL?
Yes. I think that's one league I missed. I hit every one of them but the PCL.
I didn't play in the PCL either.
That's why it's so hard to like really judge a player's movement through the farm system and his development, because those numbers become so inflated.
Yeah, and that's a real problem for the Blue Jays and their relationship with Las Vegas. It's so tough to get a read on your players. Fred Lewis having a battle here with Kevin Slowey. Trying to get things going here in the third. Alex Gonzalez with a first inning 1-out home run. The only run of the ball game. Popped him up. Left field. Delman Young makes the catch. 1 out. One out here in the third inning. Alex Gonzalez with his 16th home run of the season. Here's another guy that you could have argued needed a spot on the All-Star team.
Derek Jeter is a given. I believe he was elected. In the American League, what other shortstop jumps out at you?
Well, you could make a case for Elvis Andrus of the Rangers. He made the All-Star team. He's had quite an impact on a very good ball club.
Yeah, the first place ball club, and he's hitting around 280, 290, something like that. A lot of stolen bases, but the production that Alex Gonzalez will bring to the team.
Fights off an inside fastball. Yeah, Alex Gonzalez has had a great first half to his season. Elvis Andrus is the only other shortstop. Blue Jays got 3 All-Stars on the team. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment given their situation. Did he go too far? Tried to check his swing, but Jim Wolf said he went too far. Gonzalez strikes out. 2 down here in the third.
Kevin Slowey will not strike out a lot of batters. He'll be around the plate. He has averaged about 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. This time he goes out of the strike zone again with a high fastball. Right-handed batters have hit him for a .313 this year. That has been a mystery, and I think it has something to do with his breaking ball. He usually sinks that fastball in on right-handers and cuts it away from them.
Right-handers have also hit 11 home runs against him, including the Gonzalez home run here tonight. Jose Bautista behind. No balls and a strike. Line drive, base hitting to left. 2-out base hit for Bautista. Another right-handed hitter doing damage to Kevin Slowey.
Away from target field, batters are hitting .340, and righties have had their way against him.
A couple of All-Stars there at first base, Bautista and Morneau. Another All-Star steps in Vernon Wells. There are 5 All-Stars here tonight. All in the lineup, of course. Vernon Wells grounded into a double play, 5-4-3 to end the first. He's had success against Kevin Slowey in the past. Coming into this game, Wells was 6 for 11, now 6 for 12 with a home run. Line drive into right. Dyer makes a knee-high catch. Sinking ball coming out to the right fielder. He makes a nice catch. Wells is retired. Blue Jays strand a runner. Over in the big news tomorrow, of course, everybody's waiting on the King, LeBron James. Where's he going?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He's staying in Cleveland. He's a good guy.
An Ohio guy wants to stay home.
That's my call.
Bring a championship back home to Cleveland.
And maybe Chris Bosh goes there.
You got inside information?
It's either there or Miami, right?
Overbay grabs it in foul ground. Well, I know that, and I don't know a thing about basketball. You're supposed to be a basketball guy. Your kid plays in NCAA basketball, and come on, give me some inside information.
Well, if I'm Chris Bosh, would you rather play with LeBron, or would you want to go on a team and have a chance to go to the championship game, or go to a team that you play with Wade, okay, and you have no chance to make the playoffs?
Doesn't give up the rock.
Well, you might need a couple of extra ones, a couple extra basketballs at the end of the game, right?
That's an interesting time. A lot of teams waiting and hoping that maybe he goes to New York. CC Sabathia has been campaigning for him to go to the Knicks. A ball and 2 strikes to Denard Span. Fouled off. Mark Zepzinsky in his 4th inning of work here. He's racked up 4 strikeouts, allowed just 2 base hits, both singles. His first start. He made 11 starts for the Blue Jays last year and made his last appearance on September 1st. Club shutting down. He was up to 149 innings combined. John Buck thought that was strike 3. Jim Wolf says, we don't throw balls around the horn. Are you sure, Jim?
Yeah, he wasn't trying to show him up. For some reason, he thought that was a strike.
Well, and he actually kind of looked back like he heard Jim Wolf say strike 3, and he waited a moment before he threw it to third. 2-2 around the horn. Here we go, baby. Hum, baby. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jim Wolf could say, well, if you caught that one, it would have been a strikeout.
It's good to see the umpire smiling after that, because some of them, they don't like that. If you're showing them up.
Well, if you don't know, Jim Wolf is Randy Wolf's brother. Randy Wolf pitches for the Brewers now, and he's got a great baseball background. You can see he's got a little smile on his face. Didn't take it the wrong way for sure. Boy, Span's putting up quite a battle here. We mentioned how well Span hits against left-handed pitching, hitting over 275 against lefties. And he has been tough. He came through with the big hit against Scott Downs in the 8th inning. RBI single, that decisive RBI, the difference in the ballgame.
He can wait so long, the last possible second before he flicks that bat at the ball with 2 strikes. That's what makes him such a good two-strike hitter.
Encarnacion in foul territory, and he won't be able to get Denard Span. Infield hit. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Denard Span with the infield hit to third base. Starts things off here. Orlando Hudson will step in. He too had an infield base hit, went off the glove of Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. Denard Span, big lead at first. And Hudson takes a strike. That's a good way to diffuse the possibility of a steal. Jump ahead with a strike. Just minimize the number of pitches in which Span can run.
And vary your delivery towards home plate. Span has never seen Zepzinsky. He hasn't seen his move.
Long drive left field. Fred Lewis on the run, and this ball is gone. Orlando Hudson has just given the Twins the lead. A 2-run home run, his 4th home run of the season.
The ball has been flying out down the left field line. That sounded a little hollow. It looked like it was off the end of the bat. He's back. He's out on his front foot and swings with one hand, and the ball is gone. Looked like it was just going to be a fly ball to left field. It just kept going.
Looked like he hit it off the end of the bat, but he got great extension with that one hand. Just drove through the hitting zone and powered it out of the ballpark. Zepzinsky comes right back inside. 4th home run of the season for the former Blue Jay, Orlando Hudson. Got 2 hits tonight.
How does he end up on the market so late every year, Orlando Hudson?
I think people are concerned about his wrist. He had wrist surgery and has lost some of that flexibility. And I mean, he gives you everything he's got every single day. He's a switch hitter, great range, 4 Gold Gloves.
I think he's a wonderful player that he can do so many different things for you. He can hit at the top of the lineup if you need him to. He can hit the bottom of the lineup. You mentioned the defense. And he always comes to play. Never has a bad day.
Ball on the strike to Mauer. Bunts at it and misses. Saw the defense back, and why not take a shot with Morneau behind you? But he poked at it and missed it. Justin Morneau, a strikeout victim, stands on deck. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, he is really pounding Mauer inside with that sinking fastball.
That's one thing that the Blue Jays want to do with Zepzinsky. They want him to pitch off that fastball. He has to establish it because he's got a good one. It's a deceptive fastball with good movement. And I think that'll set up everything else that he has.
Good curveball. You're exactly right. He pounded him inside and then dropped the hook on him.
Sweep it and sweep it out of the strike zone to a good hitter. Let's see if he'll go and fish when you're ahead of the count. Pound it in. Breaking ball away. Good sequence there for Zepzinsky as he picks up strikeout number 5.
That's a good sign, too. After giving up the home run to Hudson, he comes right back and strikes out the number 3 hitter. Justin Morneau had slipped into second place in the American League batting race. Waits on that breaking ball and hits it to McDonald deep at second. 2 down. Coming into tonight's game, Justin Morneau had fallen a point behind Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers. Morneau and Josh Hamilton of the Rangers tied at 3:42 to start the action tonight. 2 outs now. Michael Kadire swings at the first pitch and dribbles it up the third baseline.
Where'd all these slugging first basemen come that are winning batting titles? Pujols to Cabrera, Morneau.
Pujols is hitting a paltry 308. American League first basemen are hitting 340. How about that?
Wow.
Cabrera, Morneau, Hamilton, the outfielder. Great season. Great month of June.
No punch and Judy hitters. I mean, they're all power production guys.
How about the old timer in Texas?
Vladdy?
330. 19 bombs, 72 RBI. Ouch. Tell you what, Zepzinsky's gotten the Twins to hit some balls down on their feet and on their shins tonight.
He's got some bend to that breaking ball.
Here's another slugging first baseman for you. How about Brett Butler? Hitting 324 for Kansas City.
324.
Strike 3 call. Kadire goes down looking for a second time tonight. Zepzinsky bounces back after the home run. He throws a good fastball this time coming inside to strike out Kadire. Twins have taken a lead 2-1. Fourth of the season. That came in the top of the fourth inning. That has given the Twins a 2-1 lead. Again, home runs doing the trick here tonight. Last night, the teams combined to hit 6 home runs. So far tonight, 2 more. Good running fastball at the knees for a strike. Adam Lynn had an 0-2 base hit to left field to start things off in the second. Ground ball wide of first. Morneau with the backhand and the toss to Slowey. Lind is retired, 1 out.
Kevin Slowey last year, he and Roy Halladay were the first to get to 10 victories. Got off to a great start last year. And then right around this time of the season, went on the disabled list with a wrist problem and missed the rest of the season. He was tied with 4 other pitchers for the Major League lead in wins at the time of his injury. Got off to a great start. 10-3 last year with an ERA of about 4.5, but it was the wrist problem. He had to have some bone chips removed from that wrist and missed the rest of the season. He's been very inconsistent this year.
You got to believe that some of that has to do with that surgery. So many moving parts to a baseball player's hands that are so important, and certainly with a pitcher, the ability to extend through that pitch has to be hampered somewhat. Fastball missed inside. Slowey won his 10th game on the 19th of June. In the last 4 starts in June, you can see he really had a tough time.
Yeah, inconsistent. He had pitched some good ball before that, giving up a couple of earned runs in those starts. Few no decisions, but his last few in June, not very good.
Slowey was disabled on July 4th a year ago. They rested him, shut him down, and then eventually realized he had to have wrist surgery. That came on August 4th. A ball and 2 strikes to the Blue Jays catcher, John Buck. Boy, they're staying inside on Buck. They missed with that fastball, 2-2.
Trying to keep it in there so he doesn't extend through the ball.
At what point do you look for an inside pitch?
If I'm John Buck, all the way to 2 strikes.
Missed with that cutter down and away, full count.
Yankees tried to carve him inside and crowd him a little bit in the series that we just played in New York. He took some good swings, but he just couldn't get that extension that you need to drive the ball out of the ballpark.
Joe Mauer checking out where Buck is in the batter's box. See if he's shifted, looking inside. Driven into left field. That'll get down in front of Delman Young and over his head. John Buck around first, headed for second. And he'll stop there with a stand-up double. His 14th double of the season.
He got some extension that time through a fastball from Slow. He just couldn't elevate it. Had some serious top spin on it. They wanted fastball away. Look where it ends up. Middle of the plate and up, and he couldn't get through it. Well, he does and gets that top spin, and that ball dives down. Delman Young plays it into a double.
Now Buck's in scoring position for Lyle Overbay. Overbay drove a ball to the gap in left center and went off the glove of Delman Young for an error. Young ran a long way into the gap in left center, but the ball hit off his glove and he was charged with the error. Blue Jays trail by a run. Just inside. Again, Overbay has hit the ball out away from him so well, going opposite field last night against Carl Pavano, and then driving that ball to the gap in left center.
Even when Pavano went inside, he was able to stay inside the ball and get the barrel of the bat on the ball and drive it for that double that you were talking about.
2-0. Popped up left field. Delman Young coming in now. Makes the catch. 2 down. Overbay got underneath it and flies out to left field. 2 outs for Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion struck out in his last at bat. Chased a high fastball from Kevin Slowey.
Put that in your memory banks and remember first base was open last time up. And Slowey got him to chase a couple of pitches out of the strike zone. Same situation here.
With John McDonald on deck. Hudson broke in behind John Buck at second base, and Slowey steps off the rubber. Trying to keep Buck close at second, shorten that lead should Encarnacion come up with a base hit. 2 outs. First pitch swing, he hit into right field. That's got a chance to get down. It does. Fair ball. John Buck comes around third. He'll score. Throw to second base, and Encarnacion is out. Michael Kadire throws a strike to second. The run counts. John Buck hustled in and scored on the single to right. Kadire throws a strike to gun down Encarnacion at second.
One of the better throwing arms in the outfield for Minnesota. Kadire comes quickly and throws a strike for his 5th outfield assist.
Sox series. That'll be on Saturday here at 1:07 p.m. Jason Kubel swings at the first pitch, and Vernon Wells just in front of the warning track hauls it in for the out. We are tied at 2-2 here, top of the 5th inning. One out. Delman Young, the left fielder, will bat. It's the first pitch up and away. We mentioned the Red Sox series. Ricky Romero, Brandon Morrow, and Jesse Litch, the scheduled pitchers to wrap up the first half. Long drive left field. Fred Lewis will get up on the wall, but this one's not coming back. Delman Young with his 10th home run of the season. And the Twins are back on top 3-2.
His last 30 games, his batting average is over 360, and it shows in his approach at the plate. He has 4 home runs and 29 RBIs in those last 30 games. Make that 5 and 30 now. Some doubles thrown in there. He stays back and takes that ball, looking like an off-speed pitch from Zepzinsky, and drives it over the wall in left field.
Well, he is a different hitter. He's got pop, he's got confidence, he's hitting for average and driving the ball out of the ballpark. That's his 10th home run. He now has 57 RBI. He leads the Twins in runs batted in.
Yeah, think about that. From where he hits down into the lineup, and there was some thought that, hey, when is this guy going to show some power? He's had good seasons where he has hit for a decent average, but it was, when is the power stroke going to come? And you can see now that it's starting to come. 12 home runs and 60 RBIs last year. He'll get that by the All-Star break.
Well, and he really finished up strong. In the final 13 games last season, Delman Young hit 400 with 4 home runs and 16 RBI. So a little bit of a Jose Bautista kind of indicator in September a year ago. Curveball bounced, fair ball, third base. Encarnacion in the dirt dugout by Overbay. Good play at third base by Encarnacion. He gets some help across the diamond from Lyle Overbay.
Yeah, he certainly does. Overbay with a good stretch, and the ball from Encarnacion looked like it was sailing on him a little bit. Overbay has to reach around the runner, and it's so much easier for a left-handed fielding first baseman. That ball hit the dirt. Dug out nicely by Overbay. Good play on both ends.
J.J. Hardy bounces it past John McDonald into center field. Hardy's first hit of the night. He's 1 for 2. Jumped on the first pitch from Zepzinsky. Minnesota, second time through the order. A little better idea what to expect from the Blue Jays left-hander. Just 2 hits in the first 9 at-bats. Now 2 home runs, second time through. And 4 hits. John Buck going out to talk things over with his young left-hander, Denard Span. Scored in the 4th inning ahead of Orlando Hudson's home run. I think John Buck has really earned the confidence of this young pitching staff. They understand how hard he has worked to get to know them and how much time he puts in the scouting reports, watching video of the opponents, and putting together a scouting report.
Yeah, he certainly has worked very hard. You go up there and talk to him and say, hey, what about this guy? What about that guy that is pitching tonight? And he'll go through a whole list of options that his pitcher can use in that night's game to get these hitters out. That doesn't just happen. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, paying attention, a lot of reading, a lot of watching.
Well, I think it took John Buck a while to learn that part of his game as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Man takes a strike. Young pitchers in particular come to the big leagues and think, if I hit enough, I'm going to play. And John Buck was an offensive player, hit 18 home runs with the Royals, and now I think he starts to understand the game much better, understands the value of his position behind the plate.
Yeah, that's calling the game, blocking balls in the dirt, taking command back there, and running a baseball game.
Now, and that's the goal of the Blue Jays minor league system with J. Pierre Arencibia, who hit his 22nd home run last night. And yeah, he's doing everything you want with the bat, but they want to see more progression with the glove and with the leadership behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Lifted into center field. Bautista calling for it. Cuts in front of Vernon Wells for the out. Mark Zepzinsky gives up a home run. The Twins have regained the lead. earned runs.
6 strikeouts against Minnesota, a team that really doesn't strike out. I think he has shown very well tonight. Delman Young has got a home run, so he will take over the lead now to RBIs. He came to this game with 56, tied with Morneau. Vernon Wells, 6 for 11 in his career against Slowey with a home run. He is 0 for 2 tonight. So those are some of the game stories that we'll be following throughout this ballgame.
John McDonald at second base tonight will start things off here in the 5th. Twins lead at 3-2. There's a base hit into center field. John McDonald, big turn around first base. Span gets it back to the infield, and McDonald starts things off here in the 5th.
Be aggressive. First pitch you see, let it go. Slowey tries one of those get me over pitches, and Johnny Mack picks up his first hit of the night.
Fred Lewis, 0 for 2 tonight, takes a fastball on the corner for a strike. Lewis has flied twice to left field. Pops this one up. Third baseman Danny Valencia makes the catch. 1 out. Tomorrow the Blue Jays will wrap things up with the Minnesota Twins. The game time will be 7:07 p.m. as the 3-game series will come to an end. Scott Baker will go to the mound for Minnesota. He's 7-7. Brett Cecil is 7-5, who has really gone through a rough stretch here of late over his last 4 starts. He's got 0-3, looking to turn things around in his last start before the All-Star break. Tickets 416-341-1234. Or you can log on to BlueJays.com. One down here in the 5th. Alex Gonzalez has homered and struck out. Number 16 on the season, came back in the first inning. Driven down the right side, hit hard, but it's slicing back into the seats. Kadire with a long run into that corner. All sliced out of play.
You mentioned the home run, the second batter of the game for the Blue Jays, and Gonzalez goes down and hooks that breaking ball just over the wall in left field. Home run number 16.
Well, I love that swing, and that's a great example of how all home runs aren't mistakes. Yeah. That was a pretty good pitch down and away, and he went down and got it and hooked it out of the ballpark.
How many times has Cito Gaston told us that breaking ball, that's how you hit a breaking ball. You got to get out there, go get it, and pull it, even if it's away from you.
Fastball upstairs. You can see Gonzalez upset himself for chasing that high pitch. I tell you what, he never gives an at-bat away.
Good point.
He will strike out. He'll make his outs. But let me tell you something. He is grinding on every pitch. Gonzalez behind 0-2. Again, Slowey trying to get him to chase that high fastball.
Change the eye level. Get you standing up just a little bit more so I can go back down in the strike zone to finish you off. Gonzalez has good discipline. You can see the concentration in his face when he is up there.
Slowey made him wait too long. He got set. Now he will step out and regroup. Chased that high fastball. Just what he was trying to avoid.
Didn't think that he would double up on that high fastball. Looked like he actually wanted the ball in when Mauer slid to the inside, but the ball sails on him, and he'll pick up his third strikeout.
Jose Bautista, 1 for 1 with a walk. Blue Jays down a run at 3-2. Got underneath it and pops it back out of play. Bautista's starting to look dangerous again. Like he's waiting back and he's really exploding.
Getting back on that back leg. Whenever he gets into trouble, he feels his timing is messed up. He has that exaggerated leg kick, and when he doesn't get it down in time, he's late. Or when the timing works and he is back on that back leg, he just explodes through the ball.
There goes McDonald. Ball was popped back out of play. John McDonald was on the move. Kevin Hudson, he had it stolen. I had you. Had you all the way. Former teammates having a good time, and
I think he's right.
Yeah, it looked like he had a good jump, didn't he?
Slowly forgot all about him.
No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here, bottom of the 5th inning. Slowly sticks to that game plan of trying to get these power hitters to chase that high fastball.
Well, he knows that the Blue Jays are free swingers, and they know that they'll go out of the strike zone.
Just in case McDonald was thinking about being sneaky again.
I think if you're not a base stealer, that only works one time. Just one time, and then you alert everybody. That batter fouls it off like that, and then they say, oh, okay, he's thinking about going.
Driven to left field. That ball is going to hang up. Nobody gets it. All the way to the wall. McDonald's around third. He'll come in to score. Ball still laying on the ground. And here comes Bautista. The relay to the plate. The slide. No slide at all. He's had an inside the park home run. Delman Young laid on the ground in left field for quite a while. Bautista comes around, clears the bases. A 2-run home run, and inside the Parker for Jose Bautista.
There's been a couple of communication problems between Young and Span in the outfield. That ball that Young dropped earlier in the game looked like they had problems communicating. And I think Span hit the left arm of Delman Young when they went for that ball.
You can see everybody on the bench giving Bautista a tough time about the long trip around the bases. Delman Young being attended to by the training staff.
Oxygen. Where's the oxygen?
You can see Bautista now on the bench getting ribbed by his teammates.
I can hit it over the fence if I need to, and I can keep it inside the ballpark and use my speed.
That's the first inside the park home run since September of '03. Here's another look at it. Hit it off the end of the bat. The outfielders come together, and nobody made the play.
And there is the collision with Delman Young, the left fielder. Watch his left wrist get kicked by Span, knocks his glove off. Span gets knocked down also, and the ball is just harmlessly just sitting right out there by that auxiliary scoreboard, and Bautista can break it down about right there. He's going to score easily.
And Bautista, being congratulated by his teammates, ran out of gas once he got to the bench. 22nd home run of the season, and inside the Parker. First one since Greg Myers had an inside the park home run against Pat Henkin. when Henkin was in Baltimore. Vernon Wells takes one outside. Blue Jays back out in front, 4-3 now. Both teams going back and forth. Both clubs now have hit 2 home runs here tonight.
Greg Myers had an inside the park home run. I just
I
wanted to
clarify.
I just wanted to clarify that after I got my scorecard together.
I got another one for you. A ball and a strike, 2 outs to Vernon Wells. Hit on the ground, wide of first. Slowly's got a cover. Hudson in time to get Wells. Vernon didn't think so. Daryl Cousins, the first base umpire, brings him up. And Wells is going to continue the discussion with Cousins. Blue Jays retake the lead. 2-run home run by Bautista. You can see it all on all Sportsnet channels. And don't forget, on the 12th home run contest, you can see our own Vernon Wells participating in that home run contest at Angels Stadium. Great show. Baseball certainly does a great job with the All-Star Game. Futures game on Sunday and home run contest on Monday and the All-Star Game on Tuesday. Mark Zepzinsky back in the lead. Two balls and no strikes. Orlando Hudson homered his last time up. That put the Twins up momentarily at 2-1. They have gone back and forth now.
Blue Jays came right back in the bottom of that inning with a run. Minnesota went back ahead on the home run by Delman Young, and now Jose Bautista with an exciting inside the park home run.
Well, I told you I had something more interesting than Greg Myers with the inside the park home run. Myers hit his September 13th, 2003. The previous home run, Ken Huckabee, inside the park home run. How about that?
That was down the right field line here, that little blooper. I remember that.
Well, you don't have to get personal about it. That little blooper. It was an inside the park home run.
It was a blooper, and everybody went blind.
Orlando Hudson strikes out, one down here in the sixth. One out here in the 6th. Mark Zepzinsky, his first start of the season, has the lead at 4-3. Zepzinsky has handled Joe Mauer tonight. Struck him out both times. Missed with the breaking ball.
You know, you can see why Cito Gaston's been impressed with Zepzinsky when he came up last year and made those 11 starts. His demeanor on the mound never seems to get rattled. Always seems to be under control, having a plan what he wants to do out there.
Mauer just can't figure out that sinking fastball.
Well, he's thinking right along with him is Zepzinsky. He'll sink the fastball in on him. He'll sweep that breaking ball. 5 of those 11 starts last year, he struck out 7 or more batters. So what he is doing here tonight with his 7 strikeouts is really nothing new that the Blue Jays didn't see last year.
Curveball hit foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 6th. Zepzinsky, over his last 6 starts, pitched pretty well down in AAA. 4-1 record with a 3.32 ERA. He won his last 3 decisions. Breaking ball, base hit left field. Fred Lewis over to try to cut it off. Mauer around first. He'll stop there. A 1-out single for the Twins catcher.
Tough to keep that guy down when he has a little bit of a history against you. Struck him out with a breaking ball last time. This time Joe Mauer stays right on it and shoots him in the left field.
Well, you're never out of the woods in the middle of the order. Justin Morneau, 0 for 2. Hit his 18th home run of the season here last night. He was thinking about number 19 with that swing. Ripped into right field. Mauer will go to second and stop there. Back-to-back base hits with 1 out. Twins got something going.
They are so tough back-to-back, even through the shifted infield. Morneau can rip it into right field for his first base hit.
First and second, 1 out. John Buck out to talk to Mark Zepzinsky. Michael Kadire has been caught looking twice. Looked at a curveball back in the second, took an inside fastball in the 4th. 7 strikeouts for Zepzinsky. Breaking ball around the outside corner. Sean Kemp loosening up. Rick Langford watching the process. Breaking ball just down. 2 balls and no strikes.
Blue Jays have picked up a couple of big double plays in this game. They had a funny one in the first inning. They'll strike him out, throw him out. They also got one to end the 3rd inning. The Twins hit into a lot of double plays. Get a lot of guys on base.
Now, they hit a lot of balls hard, and they have a good approach. They came into this game, hit into 95 double plays. That's the most in the American League.
Zepzinsky's going to have to come all the way back now. 91 pitches on the evening.
Four-pitch walk, slow to the bases. This is the first walk issued by Mark Zepzinsky, and that'll get him a visit from the pitching coach. Boy, I tell you what, I have seen Brett Cecil come up. I have watched Mark Zepzinsky all year long. I think the game experience they got last year has served them very well. There's not a whole lot of wide-eyed expressions from this starting rotation this year.
I can't agree with you more. And we saw that wide-eyed problems last year when they got into trouble. Kind of like the deer in the headlights kind of thing. Like, oof, okay, now what do I have to do? But I've seen determination. I've seen game faces. I've seen plans. I've seen them try to make adjustments from Cecil and to Markham to Ricky Romero to Brandon Morrow and now Mark Zepzinsky. And I think that has a direct reflection on their pitching coach.
Yeah, I think Bruce Walton has done a wonderful job with this young pitching staff to build their confidence and push their development. Bases loaded, one out. Jason Kubel. Ball in the dirt, blocked by John Buck. Kubel is 0 for 2 tonight. He homered in last night's game. Also singled. Hit 4 balls hard. He was robbed twice last night, both by Dwayne Wise, the center fielder. Could have easily had 4 hits. 2 balls and no strikes.
This is one of the things that you watch for in young pitchers. They get themselves in trouble. Can they get themselves out of it? And last year, there are his numbers, 6 grand slams for Kubel in his career. Zepzinsky would have 1 inning where he couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And this looks like one of those innings now. He gets the first guy easily, strikes him out, and then 4 guys in a row, 5 guys, he just can't finish off the inning.
You saw Kubel's numbers with the bases loaded. That 1 grand slam he hit this year came against Mariano Rivera. 1 of 2 blown saves Rivera has been strapped with. Blue Jays put the other one on him over the weekend. 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded, 1 out. Zepzinsky battles back.
Yes.
Joe Mauer singled. He's at third base. Justin Morneau followed that with a single to right. Michael Kadire, the 4-pitch walk. Bases are loaded. Twins trail by a run. Full count. Got a piece of it. And there's a great example of the breaking ball with a full count.
How about the confidence to throw that breaking ball to a good hitter, 3-2 with 1 out?
And he shook to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like John Buck wanted to go with the number 1, but he shook to the curveball.
Another full count pitch. Lifted to left field. Fred Lewis back in the gap, makes the catch. Mauer tags. He'll come in to score. And the Twins have tied it. Joe Mauer scores the 4th Twins run, and we are tied at 4. Kubel picks up the RBI, his 46th of the season. And Cito Gaston has come out of the Blue Jays dugout with Delman Young, the scheduled batter. Mark Zepzinsky will leave the ball game and look for help from the bullpen. We're tied at 4.
27 against Camp this year. An ERA sub 3. When they've needed double play grounders, he has thrown them. When they need an 8th inning, he has pitched that. He has set up also for Kevin Gray. A couple of runners on here and 2 outs now for Minnesota against a very hot hitter.
Way outside. Delman Young hit his 10th home run of the season with 1 out in the 5th. Average at .308. A ball and a strike to Delman Young. Down and away. Sean Kemp's done a great job of retiring the first batter he's faced in ball games. Also stranded more than his share of base runners inherited.
First batter efficiency, 33 of 38 first batters.
Popped out of play. Kemp has really done a great job, as you mentioned, pitching in several different roles. And he has gained the confidence of his skipper to hand him these types of situations to get them out of a jam. We are tied at 4 here with 2 out, top of the 6th. Bouncing ball to short. Gonzalez to second for the force out. Kemp does it again. Twins score a run to tie it. Sean Kemp strands 2 base runners. Mark Zepzinsky. Pretty good start tonight.
For Zepzinsky, pitches into the 6th inning, 7 strikeouts and just 1 walk. That came in the last inning. So he'll pick up 4 earned runs in the 8 hits against a good Minnesota team, and no decision in the books for Zepzinsky.
Adam Lynn 1 for 2 tonight. That single came back in the 2nd inning. A ball and a strike. Well, Slowey's been consistent with that high fastball.
Yeah, he certainly has. He has used it to his advantage by pitching up in the strike zone, using that to open up other parts of his game.
Two-seam fastball right in on the hands of Lynn, who fights it off. Struck him out. Another high fastball. Slowey with his fourth strikeout of the night. One out here in the sixth.
Again, up. Good movement on that two-seam fastball. Slowey has averaged about 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. And that is number 4.
John Buck doubled into left field his last time up. It's John Buck's 30th birthday today. He's had quite a week. Turns 30, goes to the All-Star game for the first time, and having a bang-up first half. Average sits at 271. 13 home runs, just 5 off his career high. We talked about John Buck looking in from Kevin Slowey, and that's been where they've tried to pitch him most of the time. Again.
Notice that in New York, where they would throw him breaking balls off the plate first pitch, and if he would go ahead and swing at it, he's a first ball fastball hitter. The Yankees did the same thing. They came inside and inside on him, so he can't extend.
Pops this ball into center field. Bernard Span, this time communicating that he's got it. 2 outs.
Enjoy the rest of the 2010 baseball season with MLB.tv. Watch out-of-market games live or on demand, and HD quality packages start at $79.95 for the remainder of the season. Visit BlueJays.com for more details on MLB.tv.
Well, lots of good baseball in both leagues, and some interesting pennant races going to develop over the course of the second half of the season. While Overbay 0 for 2 tonight. Overbay's really been swinging the bat very well. Had a good series in New York, had a good road trip.
He too has had some success against Slowey coming into this game. Over 400 with a home run. You talk about pennant races. How about the American League Central now that has become a 3-team race?
Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago White Sox, they came out of nowhere. They got some bad news today. Jake Peavy left last night's game with an apparent shoulder injury. You see the White Sox a game behind the Tigers. Peavy has a detached muscle in his shoulder. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but certainly that sounds like that's an injury it's going to take a while to get over.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't sound very good. Detached muscle in your throwing arm. When they have those starters lined up and pitching well, they can be as tough as anybody because of that starting pitching.
Does the price of Cliff Lee go up now with the White Sox in need of a starter?
Yes. Minnesota has been mentioned. Cliff Lee, Texas Rangers, New York Mets, Cincinnati Reds. I think there's no doubt that he's going to be traded. He's going to be changing teams. You get all those teams bidding for one guy, and it's going to go up.
Yeah, and Ted Lilly's another guy you hear about all the time. Ted Lilly with the Cubs. Somebody that might help the team in the second half. Corey Oswalt of Houston. Kevin Millwood was being mentioned, and he went on the disabled list, so he's out of the conversation now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Overbay asked for time. A lot of great things going on in the second half of this season.
That's right. Minnesota's going to be right there because they've got some players in their farm system if they choose to sell them off for some veterans to go for it.
3-2. Ripped past the diving Orlando Hudson into right field. Overbay's swinging it.
Slowey goes back to that pitch, that high fastball, but Overbay, watch the movement that he generates from the lower half to get the upper half moving. That is a pitch out away from him, and he rips it by Hudson for a hit.
First baseman, they don't care who gets the hits as long as there's somebody down there that's talking about hitting. Oh, you hit that one good. Yeah, I know. You're right on him, too.
Starting to feel it. That's right.
2 outs for Edwin Encarnacion. RBI in the 4th. We are tied at 4. Way outside. This game very much like last night's game, a seesaw battle, middle innings, back and forth. Blue Jays at one point led 5-2. And the Twin ties it up with 3 in the 6th. Popped out of play. Twins would take the lead in the 8th inning in last night's game. Bernard Span with the RBI. That broke a 6-6 tie. Blue Jays couldn't get anything going against Jesse Crain and John Roush in the 8th and 9th respectively. But Span had a couple of RBIs in last night's game. A ball and 2 strikes. Center field. Span comes in and makes the grab. Encarnacion's retired. Kevin Slowey, through 6 innings, in a tie ball game. Game starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on all Sportsnet channels. The series finale tomorrow night.
And then we don't see Minnesota till the last series of the season.
They've come here twice before Blue Jays go to Minneapolis to look at that brand new stadium. Brett Cecil, anxious to get things turned around in his final start before the All-Star break. Sean Markham on the shelf for the time being. Big sweeping slider for a strike. Danny Valencia, the third baseman, has a single in 2 at-bats. 0-2. Sean Camp came in to get the final out of the 6th inning. Got Delman Young to hit into a fielder's choice. Stranded a couple of base runners. Camp got away with one right there. Threw that high slider right around the letters.
Spinning slider up in the strike zone. Valencia does not have a lot of at-bats. First chance of looking at Sean Camp.
Pop down the right side. Overbay over by the wall on the track. Makes the catch in foul ground. Let's go down to Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck Pat, you might notice a little different look from the Blue Jays today, going with the baby blues, which they wore predominantly on Flashback Fridays last year. Those are no longer a part of the program, but there are 6 days designated once a month because they were such a hot seller last year. The baby blues remain a part of the uniform repertoire for the Blue Jays this year.
Makes me feel young again.
Back in the day, right?
Good looking uni. And of course, that was the road uniform for the Blue Jays. J.J. Hardy takes a breaking ball, 0-2. Both of these games, first 2 games of the series, both clubs gone toe-to-toe.
Back and forth and back and forth. You can see the Blue Jays and Minnesota match up really well. Some power when they need it. Some starting pitching when you need it. Good job by the bullpen yesterday for Minnesota.
And Harris,
yeah,
Crane, Roush. Little looping pop of John McDonald. Cuts in front of Overbay to make the catch. 2 outs. Both clubs have combined to hit 10 home runs in the first 2 games of this series. 5 apiece. Minnesota Twins probably happy to hit away from target field for the time being. Denard Span had a big game a couple of weeks ago. He had 3 triples in a game at target field last week.
Big gaps in target field from left center to right center. They're calling it Death Valley. Balls just go to die out there, but you got a speedy guy like a Span and you can split those outfielders. That's where you'll see lots of 3-baggers.
There's a little looper into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Span is aboard for a second time tonight. Commentator clothing provided in part by Z Zinnia. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. And music provided by Universal Canada. We are all tied up here, 4-4, 2 outs in the 7th inning. Denard Span, a threat to steal. 16 of 17 stolen bases this year. Another quick throw. He dives back in safely.
He's going to pay a lot of attention over there at first base to Denard Span. You mentioned he's only been thrown out 1 time this year. With the right-hander on the mound in camp, a little bit easier for Span to get a jump.
Not going. Rifle down the right field line. Span's around second. This could be trouble. Bautista in the corner. Here comes Span around third. Relay from McDonald. John Buck not in time. Span slides in safely ahead of the throw, and again the Twins have retaken the lead. Orlando Hudson, his 3rd RBI of the night.
All with 2 outs, a couple of pop-ups by Valencia, and then Hardy, the 2-out single by Span, and then the ex-Blue Jay. Orlando Hudson comes up and rifles a ball by Overbay. The great speed of Denard Span gets him around the bases. Now McDonald's throw, it's a little high. And John Buck has to reach for that ball. And when he does, that opens up that back door for Span to slide in. with the tie-breaking run.
Third triple for Orlando Hudson gives the Twins 20 triples on the season. That ties them with the Yankees for the lead in that department. Sean Kemp will give way to the left-hander. With Mauer and Morneau scheduled up, Scott Downs comes out of the bullpen. Twins have retaken the lead at 5-4. Scott Downs comes in with 2 outs and a man at third to face Joe Mauer. Mauer takes an inside fastball.
Pitched in last night's ball game. 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Good numbers for Downs all the way around. He gave up a hit to a left-hander in last night's game, and that pushed his average versus lefties for the first time this season over 200.
Good fastball evens a count at a ball on the strike. Mauer singled and scored in the 6th inning. Came in on the sac fly by Jason Kubel. Two balls and a strike. Downs worked that 8th inning, came in and got 2 outs in the 8th inning, gave up the go-ahead base hit to Denard Span. First batter he faced. He walked Mauer in last night's game, but then struck out Morneau to end the 8th inning. Fought off and fouled.
And you know right now, in this situation against a lefty who can spin that breaking ball, Mauer is going to try and stay back. This is where he has an advantage over a lot of hitters because he can shoot that ball the other way.
And the outfield really reflects that ability. They are as straight away as you can get. Same on the infield. Center field and deep. Brendan Wells on the track, makes the grab. Scott Downs gets out of it, comes in and retires Joe Mauer, but the Twins have taken the lead 5-4.
On to Fan Fridays, presented by the Fan 590 this Friday, July 9th, when the Boston Red Sox pay a visit to the Rogers Center at 7:07 p.m. Pre-game Fan Fest patio party and player autograph session. During the game, there are plenty of prizes to be won. For tickets, you can visit BlueJays.com, most Rogers Plus locations, or call 416-341-1234.
Well, the Boston Red Sox about as beat up as you can get. They got Jason Varitek and Dustin Pedroia sitting on their bench with crutches. They're trying to lend support to their teammates, and they have had all kinds of roster moves. They lost Victor Martinez to a broken thumb. Just recently, Clay Buchholz went on disabled with a hamstring. Euclid last night.
Did you see Kevin Euclid last night?
Smoothing out the batter's box.
Hurts his ankle. That's crazy.
That's really something. He's back in the lineup tonight. He's supposed to be okay, and was able to make the start tonight for the Red Sox against Tampa Bay.
Speaking of injuries, the Minnesota Twins have to be pretty happy with what they see from Kevin Slowey.
How the Blue Jays do. Well, there's a long drive left field. John McDonald at the wall and caught by Delman Young as he comes over. That ball kind of hung up. Boy, it jumped off the bat, but died on the warning track down the left field line.
Yeah, a lot like the home runs we saw in last night's game. Right down the line, the ball was carrying. But with a one-run lead in the seventh inning, Johnny Mack gives this one a ride. Delman Young is playing a little bit deeper. No doubles, nothing over your head, and he runs it down right in front of the 328 sign.
Delman Young's had a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, he certainly has. He and Span in left center field. Slowey had to leave his last start. That was last Wednesday when he got hit with a line drive right off of his right ankle. He was supposed to throw yesterday's game, but the Twins wanted to give him a little extra time to heal that bruised ankle. So Pavano got the start in yesterday's game. Now Slowey is pitching into the seventh inning, something he hasn't done for 3 starts.
That's the guy you want.
He tries to go backdoor with a breaking ball and missed. Fred Lewis has the 0 for going tonight. Blue Jays with just 8 hits. Good pitch, fastball at the knees. Blue Jays again have hit 2 home runs. Alex Gonzalez with the solo shot in the first, and Jose Bautista, a 2-run inside the park home run to left field. Just missed upstairs with that running fastball. Drilled to the gap in center field. That'll go all the way to the wall. Lewis around first. He's headed for second. He's making the turn around second and going for 3. Throw to third. Not in time. Backed up by Slowey. Fred Lewis with his 4th triple of the season to the wall in center field.
They have been jamming him with fastballs all night long. A couple of weak fly balls to left field and a pop-up to the third baseman. But Slowey tries a spinner right out over the middle of the plate, and that ball is ripped into the gap. Split Span and Kanier, the right fielder. And Fred Lewis, as soon as he saw that ball get between them, had third base on his mind.
Boy, he eats up the ground, makes a big turn around second base, and goes into third head first. For triple. Ron Gardner's out to take the ball from Kevin Slowey, and they'll look to the bullpen to keep this 1-run lead intact.
Makes a mistake by spinning a breaking ball over the middle of the plate to Fred Lewis, and he's thinking 3 right here. As soon as he splits the outfield, he's thinking about getting to third base. One last quick look to see where the ball is, and he comes storming into third base. And if not for Slowey backing up that play, he'd be at home. So a good hit for Lewis, and Slowey can only watch now.
Matt Guerrero comes out of the bullpen with 1 out and a man at third. His 39th appearance. Fred Lewis at third, the infield drawn in. Alex Gonzalez. Ball in the dirt. Went too far. Bauer smothered it at home. A home run and a couple of strikeouts for Gonzalez tonight. Slowey did a good job of elevating that fastball to Gonzalez. Guerrero's a different pitcher. He'll work down in the zone.
He too has a very good curveball. Guerrero, one of their main setup men.
Fly ball down the left field line, drifting into foul territory. Lewis now tagging up. The ball drops in foul ground. Danny Valencia went way down the left field line, trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch and couldn't connect.
Might have worked out for him. If Delman Young makes the catch, I think Fred Lewis holds up. But with the infielders, with their back turned to home plate, moving away from the plate, if he catches this ball, Lewis scores easily.
Yeah, too much momentum going away from the field. If he does catch it, Fred Lewis had gone back to tag. Gonzalez in a hole, 0-2. 1 out. Tying run at third base. This one's to center field. Should be deep enough. Span backs up. Lewis tagging. Throw to the plate. Here comes Lewis. Not nearly in time. Gonzalez delivers again. Drives home Fred Lewis. We are tied again at 5-all.
And they tried to go to that high fastball where Slowey was so successful, 2 times striking out Gonzalez. But Guerrero tries to go up there. Watch Maurer wanting the ball way up there, but he doesn't get it up high enough. Lewis knows that he's going to score easily. Got to make sure that the ball is caught. And with that good speed, no chance to get him at the plate.
2 outs for Jose Bautista. He's had a perfect night at the plate. Lays off the breaking pitch. Bautista walked, singled, and homered. Fred Lewis with that timely 1-out triple scores the tying run. No swing, says Darrell Cousins down at first. We mentioned how Bautista's timing looks like it's really starting to click again.
And when he does, he takes those borderline pitches and then crushes mistakes.
Bautista has hit a 3-0 home run this year. He now has 22 home runs for the season. Big sinking fastball. Swung right over the top. Matt Guerrero in relief of Kevin Slowey. Went too far, chased the breaking ball. Slowey, like Mark Zepzinsky, will end up with a no decision tonight. Slowey pitched well, but is tagged with the 5th run on the sac fly off the bat of Alex Gonzalez. He walked him. A 2-out walk to Jose Bautista. It's been a back and forth series for both skippers. Ron Gardenhire shaking his head. And the damage has happened top of the order for both teams. Lewis with the 1-out triple. Slowey gave up that triple to Lewis, and then he was lifted, and Matt Guerrero gave up the sac fly. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Vernon Wells is 0 for 3.
Paying a lot of attention to Jose Bautista over there at first base with a couple of outs. I'm sure they're going to let Vernon Wells swing away here and not try and run into an out.
Chase the breaking ball. Howard keeps it in front of him. Brian Dunsing, the left-hander, moving up. The Twins have 3 left-handers in their bullpen. We saw Jose Majerus last night. He was the winning pitcher in that game. Ron Mayhay, the veteran, and Brian Dunsing, 3 left-handers.
A lot of options for Ron Gardenhire late in the ball game, and he has used his bullpen a lot.
Vernon Wells in a hole, 0-2. There goes Bautista. Wells bounces it foul. Kevin Slowey goes 6 1/3 here tonight. Gives up 9 hits and is charged with 5 earned runs.
He came into this game against the Blue Jays, and they have really owned him in his career. 1-2 with an ERA over 6. So he pitches into the 7th inning. He'll get a no decision. Just his second no decision of the season. Another one of those pitchers who pitches long enough into games to help his team.
This is not a bad time to gamble for Bautista.
Yeah.
With Wells in a hole, 0-2. Not going. Wells drives it to center field. This ball is hit a ton. Span back. Span at the wall. It is off the wall. Here comes Bautista around third. He will score, and the Blue Jays have retaken the lead. Vernon Wells delivers in the hole, 0-2. Rips it off the wall in center field to drive home Jose Bautista.
RBI number 49, and with 2 strikes, maybe he pays a little bit too much attention to Bautista over there at first base and hangs one out over the plate. You can see how close Span came to making that grab. But Bautista is going to score easily as this ball is jolted to deep left center field. Ricochets off the wall. No chance to get Bautista. And the Blue Jays come right back here in the bottom of the 7th.
Vernon Wells with that double snaps an 0 for 21 skid with a big double to knock Matt Guerrero out of the ballgame. Blue Jays lead it by a run. has driven in 3. Vernon Wells drives in his first. This long drive to center field gives the Blue Jays the lead.
Trying to get him to reach for a fastball out over the plate, and he's pulling that ball now. Pulling it off the wall in left center field for his 49th RBI and giving the Blue Jays a 1-run lead.
Left-hander Ryan Dunsing on to face the left-handed hitting Adam Lynn. 2 outs and Wells at second. Marvin Hudson said no swing on the appeal.
Dunson's been a very reliable reliever for the Minnesota Twins this year. Came to the big leagues last year, got into 24 games. He made 9 starts last year, but he's been out of the bullpen all season long for Ron Gardenhire.
Broken bat goes into the Twins dugout. Hudson fields the grounder and retires Lynn. But the Blue Jays have retaken the lead on Vernon Wells' RBI double. It's 6-5 Toronto. Saw a battle all night long, back and forth, and the Blue Jays find themselves on top by a run. Justin Morneau takes the first pitch strike from Scott Downs. Downs came on to face Joe Mauer with 2 outs and got Mauer to fly out to center. Good curveball.
He has matched up against Morneau in his career really well. Morneau just 1 hit against Downs in his career. Curveballs played a big part of that.
A little Texas leaguer in front of Vernon Wells. Morneau has his 2nd hit against Scott Downs. Leadoff base hit here in the 8th. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
West Junior Jays Saturday is this Saturday, July 10th versus the Red Sox at 1:07 p.m. Come down to the Rogers Center early and visit the Gate 11 Interactive Zone. We'll have player autographs, inflatables, face painting, and a whole lot more. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases. 416-1234, BlueJays.com, or most Rogers Plus locations for tickets to that game.
Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Leadoff batter aboard. Michael Kadire chases a first pitch for a strike.
Get that ball on the ground. Downs can turn over that fastball. If Kadire is thinking about pulling the ball, he might pull it right to the shortstop and get 2 for 1.
Poked on the right side, and Downs is quickly out in front. No balls and 2 strikes.
Kadire has hit into 14 double plays this year.
Just missed downstairs. The Twins have hit into one double play, two double plays here tonight. One ground ball double play that came in the third inning. J.J. Hardy hit a 6-4-3 double play. They have now grounded into 96 double plays. Boy, John Buck, I just can't tell you how much he has improved on that ball in the dirt. He has moved so quickly to smother those balls. I mean, they were going by him. He and Jim Wolf, the umpire, have had a good time all night long. Jim Wolf thanking him for keeping that ball off his body.
You just don't know where that ball is going to go when you see it in the dirt.
Ground ball. Tough play. Gonzalez gets one at second, but not in time to get the return throw at first. Gonzalez had to back up because of that big hop, and looks like Morneau has injured himself down at second base.
There are so many collisions around second base. I don't know if Johnny Mac's knee might have hit Morneau or he slid in the leg. You know, the timing of this was so messed up. McDonald tries to get it and watch his knee clog him right against the head right there.
Yeah, John McDonald looked like his right knee hits Morneau in the head.
Boy, when I see that, I think of Ryan Church, who went into second base and got kicked and had a concussion. John McDonald, you're taught as a second baseman, catch the ball, jump, get out of the way, but in the way of doing that, Morneau slides right into that knee.
Well, then you've got to give Morneau credit. He had one thing on his mind, was disrupting the timing. He did that. Going to be a tough play to turn, too. Gonzalez had to back up. That ball had a lot of topspin on it. Hopefully Morneau will be okay. Just felt the cobwebs for a minute, but Gonzalez had to back up, and that really kind of robbed them of any opportunity to turn two. So there's one out now for Jason Kubel. Yeah, but Ryan Church, you mentioned, he was never the same after that. He had a concussion and missed an awful lot of time after that.
We've seen that a couple of times over the last few years. Runners going in to break up a double play, they aren't hit with the arm or the ball, they're hit with the legs.
Breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. What a one-run game here in the 8th inning. Justin Morneau started things off. He was erased on the fielder's choice. Michael Kadire is at first base. Buck attempted for the throw to first base, but didn't have a good grip on the baseball as Kadire bounced off the bag. 2 balls and a strike to the Twins DH. Popped over near the Blue Jays dugout and back into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kubel really busted out last year with a fantastic year. Drove in over 100 runs last year for Minnesota. He has always been able to hit. Been a good hitter all through the minor league system for Minnesota. He's in tough here right now with Downs.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Grounded towards second. McDonald quickly to second for one. Back to first, double play. Very slick. John McDonald starts it. Gonzalez finishes it. Downs gets the ground ball.
Span collide and go to the ground. Bautista is thinking about inside the park home run. By the time Span runs it down, Bautista is going to circle the bases with his 22nd home run of the season, this time inside the Parker, and he needs a rest after going around the bases.
First inside the park home run for the Blue Jays since 2003. 22nd home run. Blue Jays have hit 2 more home runs here tonight. Gonzalez with a solo home run, Bautista a 2-run home run. Jason Repko comes in defensively in right field because Michael Kadire went from right to first base, taking over for Justin Morneau. Morneau slammed into John McDonald at second base and appeared to be dazed, and we can't speculate, nor will we, that what the issue is, but certainly they're concerned about Morneau. John Buck hard on the ground. J.J. Hardy has it. 1 out.
J.J. Hardy getting to throw off that arm for the first time. Bottom of the 8th inning, that's his first ground ball tonight. He's had a good arm. He's missed a lot of games with that left wrist problem. In fact, he went on the disabled list twice and missed 32 games.
Kyle Overbay. 1 for 3. Looks at a good breaking ball from Dunsing. Mentioned the Blue Jays have 7 hitters with 10 or more home runs. Kyle Overbay has 9, but you talk about a balanced attack. Cito Gaston said in spring, he said he thought he had 6 guys that could hit 20. They might even surpass his expectations. To give you an idea how potent this lineup is, Boston, and we all regard them as a power hitting team, but they're banged up right now, but they have 5 guys with 10 or more home runs. The Angels have 5 as well. One of those, of course, Kendry Morales, who's out for the season.
Yeah, that's the one that surprised me, the Angels. You don't think of them as a power hitting team.
A ball and 2 strikes, lays off the breaking ball. The Yankees have 4 hitters with 10 or more home runs, and Posada has 9. Of course, Posada missed about a month of the season with a broken bone in his foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 8th. Breaking ball caught the inside corner. Overbase strikes out. First strikeout for Brian Dunsing.
Like a breaking ball from Dunsing that's going to back up for him. Right on the inner half, and Overbay watches it. Just clip the inside corner.
Two down now. Edwin Encarnacion has driven in a run tonight. Ten home runs, 24 driven in. Reaches for an outside pitch and fouls it back. Been quite a series so far. Blue Jays lost a tough one last night, 7-6. They hold a 1-run lead here in the 8th tonight.
Played some entertaining games over the last 10 days or 2 weeks. That series in New York, although they didn't come out on top, those were some entertaining and exciting ball games. Cleveland, they went back and forth against the Indians. Although they lost all 4 of those games, they were close.
I agree with that 100%. But close only counts in horseshoes and dancing. 2-2, 2 outs. Driven to right field. But Repko is there just in defensively, and he makes the grab to end the 8th. The Blue Jays will go to the 9th with the lead. 6-5 over the Twins. Kevin Gregg comes out of the bullpen. May not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We are in the 9th, and that means Kevin Gregg with the Blue Jays lead. He's on looking for the save.
He has 18 of them in 21 attempts this year. Those 18 saves, good for 7th in the AL.
Delman Young jumps on the first pitch, and it hangs up for Vernon Wells, who makes a fine sliding catch. 1 out here in the 9th.
That certainly did hang up for Kevin Gregg and Vernon Wells. Very dangerous hitter at the plate, and Delman Young sends the first pitch he sees, a cutter away from him into the gap, but Wells circles it, comes in, and with a dive, makes the first out.
Danny Valencia, the third baseman, a single in 3 trips tonight. Big swing and a miss. The ball on the strike. Popped out of play.
Kevin Gregg pitched in last night's ball game to get some work. An inning. He did have a strikeout, and that guy was that man right there, Jim Thome. He struck him out in last night's game, and he'll get a chance to do it again here.
Well, if you're going to face Thome, you'd like to face him with 2 outs and nobody on. Off the plate, full count. Fly ball center field. Routine play for Vernon Wells. 2 outs. Be sure to stay tuned after the game for Sportsnet Connected with Martine Gaillard and Ian Mendez. For MLB highlights and the big NBA news, Chris Bosch is on his way to Miami. Get connected right after the game. Jim Thome bats with 2 outs. Good fastball right at the knees, down and away for a strike.
Boy, you've got to keep the ball down to Jim Thome. He has been their best pinch hitter this year. This is his 20th attempt. He does have a pinch hit home run. You see the exaggerated defense on the right side. They don't think Thome is going to try and put the ball to left field.
A ball on the strike. Perfect pitch, down and away.
With good movement. There are the numbers versus Kevin Gregg. He has faced him 5 times.
Twins down to their final strike. 2-2.
Gregg has really handled left-handed batters this year. They are hitting under 200 against him. A lot of times he tries that backdoor cutter, keeping the ball away from their power.
Missed with the fastball. Thome was the DH in last night's game. He had a double in 5 at bats. Fly ball center field. Vernon Wells getting over into the gap. Makes the catch. Blue Jays win it. Kevin Gregg picks up his 19th save of the season with a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Jose Bautista, his 22nd home run, and inside the Parker. And the Blue Jays have evened the series at a game apiece.
Nice job by Mark Zepzinsky with the start tonight. He picks up 7 strikeouts, a walk, in 4 runs pitching into the 6th inning. Camp does a good job. Downs an inning in the 3rd, and then Kevin Gregg with his 19th save. Home run plays a big part of it again tonight for the Blue Jays.
2 more home runs tonight. Stay tuned for Connected. 6-5 Blue Jays win it. We'll be back here tomorrow night.